Ah, the glorious frustrations of working with the Gots. Mike, you let me know. You show me, you tell me when you have the sound of what the last 5 minutes of our life was like as Amin Elhassan sits in with us. And he marvels at how hard it is to get the Stugotz hot air balloon up in the air. It's a lot of fun once it's up in the air, but sometimes the cloth gets tangled in things and it doesn't actually rise. And the last 5 minutes are that. And then after the last 5 minutes of what can only be described as some of the most spectacular incompetence in the history of the business.
Yeah, thank you.
He barks at Chris Cody. Tell Charlie to stop calling me. I don't want to talk to any executives about what I have to do tonight.
I mean, it's enough. Hey, Chris will tell you. I think all the guys will tell you. Like, we have this event tonight, NBA Finals. We're doing it at ESPN3.com, I believe. And
watch ESPN.
Exactly. Watch ESPN. And Charlie is just peppering me with texts. Listen, I'm going to get here. Cameras are going to go on. We're going to have some fun. That's it. I'm going to spin a wheel. I'm going to break down the game. I'm going to tell you it's a must-win for LeBron. He's sending me a million texts about X's and O's, and you're going to do this chalk talk at halftime. And
there's going to be a chalk talk at halftime?
Here's a question, which I already know the answer to. Stugotz can actually do all of that right now. You can pre-record all of your takes and not show up, and then we could just play sound bites of you giving takes, and it won't seem out of place at all.
Like that idea.
That's his dream.
Yeah.
That's his dream is I'll be on a boat in the Mediterranean. You guys do the show and just make sure the checks cash.
You don't even have to pre-record it. I feel like all of your takes are already in the database already, right?
You can find them, yeah. They haven't evolved at all. Right.
It's the same stuff, right?
Mike, that's actually a funny idea. Yeah, I know you guys have enough going on tonight.
No, but it's not. This is not just audio, people. You have to see him.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is it's not a bad idea to stop everything we're doing and just gather around to listen to a Stugotz take that would apply to the game that could have been delivered at any point in the last 3 years. Whatever. Kevin Durant misses a shot. You play Stugotz saying, hey, he's a shortcut taker. We just said, now we go back for a flashback. Greatest hits, Stugotz.
Curry doesn't play well. We'll play the whole, he's injured. When he doesn't play well, he's injured. When he plays well, he's the greatest ever.
Correct.
LeBron, it's a must win for LeBron.
I love it.
What
Put me
else?
on autopilot, man.
Steve Kerr is just riding coattails.
He's a bum. Yeah.
So this chalk talk that you're doing at halftime, we're going to give you the opportunity to actually show that you're credible when it comes to this, because everyone knows the Marlins broadcast disaster. Lord knows I have plenty of sound from it, and we can relive that in a moment. But we want to give you the opportunity to give us some play-by-play and actually do a SportsCenter-ish highlight package during halftime.
Oh, so we're going to do like the Kenny Smith where we're sending him to a board or like Legler to the iPad?
Well, I mean, we're broadcasting from a closet here, guys. We can only do so much, but there is going to be highlights cut, and he's going to have a highlight sheet, and he's going to have to be a professional and break down what happened at halftime.
I'm good with all of it. Just like you tell me. I don't need Charlie telling me all this. That's all I'm saying. I'm fine with doing all of it. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But Charlie, enough.
I just had a crazy vision. What if Stugotz does such a great job that he ends up being on Countdown next year?
That's not happening.
Well, I'm just saying, you've been campaigning for the wrong Countdown this whole time. NFL Countdown.
There's the right attitude you need to have, because I'm already so sick and tired of Stugotz's attitude when it comes to this. This is such a great opportunity for us. We don't have the play-by-play voices actually giving us play-by-play. We have ambient sound. You can go in there and fill in all the blank spaces and really paint a picture. People are watching us to find out what's going on in
What's
this
wrong
game.
with my attitude? I said I'm excited for it. I can't wait to do it. I appreciate the trust that you guys are showing. I'm just enough with Charlie.
Stugotz, when left to your own devices, did you hear what the first 5 minutes before the show started? You wouldn't stop eating breakfast.
There's plenty of blame to go around, I got to be honest. I mean, you were conducting meetings in here. I'm supposed to be cutting promos. I mean, you got full-fledged meetings going. Everyone's talking. I mean, I got to concentrate.
That's a fine.
For who? For me? I was just telling the truth. I mean, now I'm going to get fined for telling the truth.
No, I'm going to tell the truth right now, and I'm going to set up this story.
I got to see if I have some money.
I don't care whether you have money or not. It's $3.
Oh, good. I don't have any.
It's $3. It's just we're going straight to $3.
That's not fair.
That's it. $3.
Change the rules.
No, it's not the rules. It's that you're going to do the same move that you always do to stall. I don't have money. I do have money, and it's $3, and you're doing your job. We're paying you more than $3 for that whatever time it takes to give you us that $3, so you make money no matter what, doing your job poorly. And I want to stop rewarding it.
Okay, but it's only $2 if I can't find the money. I mean,
that's correct, but I'm telling you that you were going to go to the $3 move there because you've been so bad so far this morning.
Okay. Oh, I found it, man.
I heard it first in Mike's ear. Too loud. Turn your headset down.
No, I can't.
So,
volume I work at.
Isn't it supposed to create some sort of seal between his ears and the headphones?
Well, these are old and they're broken and they flap out a little bit. And
that's another fine.
Yeah. I'm blaming that. I mean, I don't have any money, so I mean, and I owe you for $4. No, it's $4.
No,
I don't
now
have
it's
any money.
$6.
4, 2 and 2
It
is
is
$4.
now
I mean,
$6.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. 2.
So this is the backstory. I'm not making this up. Mike, help me set this up, okay? Just help me set this up because I want it told, the story told through the prism of your frustrations, because working with us can be very difficult, and you're all about to hear a reason why.
Well, before the local hour, we get promos for the next day shows to send out to our affiliates, ESPN Radio, even the ticket. Okay, and we do this. It's supposed to be 10 minutes before the show, but we do this right before the show. And we're always trying to beat the buzzer because Stugotz saunters
always
in
late, always
30 seconds.
Never
before.
late.
10 minutes early.
Never actually late, but always later than Mike needs him. Always later than Mike needs him.
Walked in here at 8:44 today. I'm just saying today. I'm not saying, every other day you're right, but 8:44 today.
And this is normally a manageable situation if you are perfect one-take Gotts every time. But he is not one-take Gotts. So we were trying to get a promo for tomorrow's show, which is a bit weird. It's a bunch of people on the promo sheet that he has no idea who they are. It's a bunch of musicians. So he's very bad at faking these things. And it's not a great job of selling it to the audience. He has to have some background when it comes to selling this.
You can't just say a name, not know it, have them not know it, and then you're teasing something that nobody knows what you're talking about.
So this was our experience.
Hey, Stugotz, join us Thursday. We'll be joined by Lily Allen, Jamel Hill, and Mike, who? Shinoa? Who is this person? I only know Jamel Hill. That's Thursday in the Dan Le Batard Show with me, Stugotz, on ESPN Radio. It's fair.
All right. So that's
honest.
Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. You know, the one that didn't kill himself. He's a very popular band, Linkin Park.
Morbid.
I'm trying to explain it. He's from Linkin Park, which is one of the biggest bands in the world.
It's obviously not the one who killed himself.
I mean, don't sell Stugotz short.
Right, that's correct.
It continued. Mike Shinoda.
Shinoda. Oh, now I know him.
From Linkin Park.
Oh, jeez. My Shinoda. You should say that. Do that. Ready? Okay. Hey, Stugotz, join us Thursday. Lily Allen will join us. Jamel Hill's going to join us. Mike Shinoda is going to join us.
Mike Shinoda.
Sorry. Ready? Hey.
Means voice going to be on a promo on the show that he's not going to be part of.
Hey, Stugotz, join us.
Pick these things out.
Hey, Stugotz, join us Thursday. Lily Allen going to join us. Jamel Hill going to join us. Mike Shinoda going to join us from Linkin Park. My Shinoda. That's Thursday in the Dan Le Batard Show with me, Stugotz, on ESPN Radio. Now I got food in my mouth.
Yeah, now he starts eating breakfast because he's doing his job so well.
Mike Shinoda.
He's doing his job so well, so he stuffs a bar in his mouth.
Thought I nailed the last one.
We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
I'm enjoying my kind bar. My breakfast. I'm taking it seriously. 1 second. It's almost swallowed.
It's so loud.
No water. That's not enjoying breakfast. You wash down water. Hey, Stugotz, join us Thursday. Lily Allen going to join the show. Jamel Hill as well. And Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. My Shinoda. That's Thursday. The Dan Le Batard Show with me, Stugotz, on ESPN Radio. I have food in my mouth.
Clearly chewing. You're very clearly chewing. And I said Mike Shinoda.
I want to leave it. You want another Mike? Hey, Stugotz, join us Thursday. Lily Allen going to join us. Jamel Hill going to join us. Mike Shinoda going to join us from Linkin Park. Mike Shinoda. That's Thursday in the Dan Le Batard Show with me, Stugotz, on ESPN Radio. Nailed it. One take Gotts.
I mean, describe what you're seeing right now. This is when he feels good about himself. This is him post-coital right here.
Oh,
this is
great.
Here where he leans back and he grabs the microphone.
Kind bar, man.
Right, grabs the microphone with one hand and, whoa, I've worked hard today and I've done a good job. I'm a man. I'm a hunter bringing home the things I killed in the wilderness.
he leaned back and he grabbed the microphone like it was a cigarette that he was about to light.
Yeah.
Take a long drag and just
He's very pleased. That is the height of Stugotz right there, and he gets rewarded for it at every turn. And look at him. That's him basking in his throne, sitting like Kendrick Perkins in his throne.
I'm just happy. Listen, my stupidity and my incompetence can provide content for you guys on a daily basis. Yes, and I am proud of that fact. I really am.
We just saw how the hot dog is made right there.
Yeah, we did. I mean, how about we book some guests that I've heard of? How's that sound?
That's $9.
What? Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you are confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you the same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you are getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. That's rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
My mom, first visit, worried about her son, comes in the Worcester, which is the armpit of America. And within 5 minutes, a SWAT team rolls up. We think it's for my house. It's for the house next door. It's a crack house, and my mom wanted to bring me home.
A what team?
SWAT team. Is that what you call it? Squad team? I don't know.
Stugotz.
They had big guns.
Wait a minute.
And a lot of armor.
You think that the team that storms into your house and knocks over the door wearing uniforms as law enforcement, you have thought all your life that that's a SWAT team?
They squatted.
The people in the house.
The people in the house were squatting.
No, they came in with like guns blazing and they had their armor on and they all like got in the shooting position and they were squatting.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
You can join us for Dan's Father's Day Fiesta. It's coming up June 14th at Fogo de Chao. Saying that right?
Love that place.
You like that place?
Love that place.
I mean, how could someone not like a place where they just come and deliver meat to your plate whenever you want it? You turn the coin over, boom. I leave that thing on green the entire time. Do you? Green? You ever go red?
No. Not until I'm done.
Even when I'm done, I'm still on green.
They're still piling it on your plate as you walk out.
I'm too tired, yeah. Anyway, it's in Miami Beach. You'll get to meet Dan, Billy, new fathers Roy and Chris, along with other ticket personalities. Just register at theticketmiami.com for a chance for you and a guest to enjoy lunch and a fully loaded swag bag. You have until before midnight, June 12th, to register. It's Dan's Father's Day Fiesta at Fogo de Chao from your friends at $7.90 the ticket.
You love this Mike Shinoda song?
Yeah, yes. One of my favorites.
Mike Shinoda. You know what commercial just aired on the TV here, Amin?
What's that?
Bavarian Edge.
Oh.
What a night. How amazing does this Bavarian Edge thing seem like?
Well, this is my thing. I've seen plenty of commercials, the Ginsu knives and all that stuff. Oh, cut through a shoe, yawn, seen it, been there, done that. When they took the credit card, sharpened it just a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, and then sliced that tomato like it was a razor. That's when I was hooked.
Yeah, see, there have been plenty of infomercials for knives, but this thing can turn a credit card into a knife. And honestly, if I had a Bavarian Edge, and I'm seriously considering getting a Bavarian Edge, I'm only going to cut vegetables with a credit card.
You have to sanitize it before you do it. It doesn't seem healthy or safe to do it without.
Well, yeah, it's going to be
a lot of fingers touching credit cards.
Doesn't the Bavarian Edge also sanitize if you're sharpening the part that's been?
That's true.
If you're shaving off the part that's been touched,
shaved off.
It's just a fresh part of the credit card.
Because your dirty side of your card would go through a tomato also.
All right, so you clean the card.
This is.
I'm glad we're talking this out. No, I'm glad we're talking this out.
By the way,
blind spots.
Another thing we haven't discussed: advantage. Sharpen your credit cards. Put in your wallet. Guy says, give me your wallet. Say, hold on, guy. Let me just take my credit cards. Wow. Ninja stars.
Yeah, ninja stars. Safety. Wow, they should really... Well, yeah. I could see why advertising that would be a little problematic.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Make anything in your home a weapon as opposed to making a knife. That's really not... now I understand why the central focus is on knives. But it's not like knives aren't super dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't want to advertise that they're selling basically this thing that turns everything into a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Then it's a very different kind of infomercial.
I mean, what an incredible patent. Just the design of it. It's like a suspension bridge, but it also has a shock system. It's incredible. Why didn't anybody think of this before?
This is not the first knife sharpener. I'm sure they all look like this on the inside.
No. Most knife sharpeners are something that you just hold out stationary.
Yeah, little stick.
This one, it's got a shock system, and it's got dual action sharpeners. It's really, I mean, it's quite the invention.
Steel sharpens steel. They took that saying and they turned it into reality.
Iron sharpens iron.
Oh, that's it.
That's a cliche. In Forged and Fire, do they get to use any of the sharpeners or whatnot?
No, you file your knife, you put it up against the thing, and you make the edge. You have to have proper edge geometry, or it doesn't cut properly.
So no one can use a Bavarian edge in Forged and Fire?
No, you can't. You make your own thing.
Is it against the rules to use a Bavarian edge? Is it in the bylaws somewhere?
They don't use kitchen knives. They use actual knives.
That's not true. So I actually watched Forged and Fire a week ago because of your continued endorsement.
Which one did you watch? Did you watch Knife or Death or actual Forged and Fire? Knife or Death is the one where they go through the obstacle course.
Knife or Death is the one I watched.
Yeah, that one, someone took a knife.
Butcher. He was a butcher, and he had the knife, and he got all the way through until he got to not the chicken. What's the next?
The fish.
The fish.
Yeah, the fish is
Cut
problematic.
up on the fish.
Yeah, a lot of people get cut up on the fish. I don't understand on that show, by the way, in particular. I don't get the blades that some people take to that show that they think. Like, one guy actually took, like, a kitchen knife that he was going to use.
He's a butcher. The guy was a butcher, and he took a butcher's knife, and his thing was all of these other contestants, they bring these fancy knives and swords, but they use it, like twice a week or twice a day or whatever. I'm using this every single day at my job. So I know how to wield my weapon way better than anybody else, and I got to admit, I was sold.
Yeah, but the thing is that his job is not cutting through potted plants and cutting through giant blocks of ice and cutting through enormous fish and sheets of metal.
Doing all this with a butcher knife?
Yeah. Some of the knives people took were ridiculous.
He got through a lot of that stuff.
He did?
He did. But
he's like essentially punching it because of the way that a butcher knife is manufactured. There's not a lot of margin for error there. No. If he misses, he's going to jack up his fingers.
The color commentators, there's a Navy SEAL, and then
and Goldberg.
Goldberg, that's right. I was thinking some wrestler.
Why Goldberg?
I don't know.
Because he's a knife expert, Goldberg. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
He was also a car expert, right? Didn't he have a car show?
He did have a car show, but I can see how someone, I guess, this is me not extending Goldberg enough credit, because I could see how Goldberg could become a car expert, but it's outside of the realm of possibility that he can know anything about swords.
To be honest
which is a lot less complex, by the way.
He didn't seem to know. No, you'd be surprised. There's a lot to know about weapons, but he didn't know a lot. His big thing was, oh my God! Yeah. Every time a knife would break, oh my God! That's just his move.
He provides the energy and the oomph like a Kevin Harlan, if you will. and then the Navy SEAL guy. The Navy SEAL guy is the one that gives a real, this is a Filipino fighting blade.
He explains all the weapons and, their origin and what they're used for, whatever. And then they have this other guy whose job is only to basically cut, a yoga mat, basically.
Who is this guy? Because this guy's whole job is he's supposed to, test whether the knife is worthy.
Yeah, it's like a safety test, but he's cutting through it's like a straw mat almost. It's really tightly wound. I don't know. There's a name for it.
And he does the appropriate pomp and circumstance.
Yeah. He's super into it. He won Forged and Fire either once or twice. That's where they got him from. So he does the things, and he's only told 2 people that they can't do it. Because he should have told the guy with the kitchen knife, listen, look at this course. I think one guy even said, have you seen this course? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, you think you could do this? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, all right, you got my blessing.
But he went pretty far with that kitchen knife?
He got to the last obstacle second last obstacle is various hanging dead animals. So there's a chicken, there's a fish, and then
is that what they call it? Yeah. You're welcome to the various dead animals hanging stage.
And so once you get through that, then there's a sheet of metal that you have to cut through, and then a sheet of meat that you got to cut through, and then there's just this wooden stump that you just throw your knife into. Yeah. And he got through the chicken. I believe he got through the fish, and I want to say it was the pig.
So the fish is the issue. Guys, if you're ever on this show, you have to go spine first. Because a lot of people go the other way, and you got to slice down. Wow. A lot of people just try to go sideways, or they try to go up. Terrible. And it has to be this way, forward. A lot of people try to do this backhanded slash. You don't get as much power doing that. You got to go forward through the spine. And you need to follow through. If you don't follow through, that's what gets a lot of people on the fish. They don't follow through, and then the scales, they get caught on the skin.
I love the idea that it's a bunch of different styles, like what UFC was at the beginning or what Street Fighter is. You have the wrestler, and you have the capoeira guy, and you have all these different styles. You have a butcher. I imagine he's dressed like a butcher, and he's wielding his butcher knife. If I were there, I would just be taking a sharpened credit card.
Yeah, with the Gitsu.
Did you see the episode where a guy showed up in like full gear, like if he was a knight? He had a mask on, and then Goldberg's like, "Sir, remove your helmet." He's like, "Oh, sorry, Goldberg."
Oh, so the guys actually get into gimmicks too, like Eater X and whatnot?
Yeah, they dress up.
That the guy had the broadsword, like his olden times and stuff. You have the guy who comes in the kimono and the katana blade, which fell apart, by the way. When he was hacking the ice, it literally was breaking up. They had to stop him.
It fell apart when he took it out, when he unsheathed it, because that would be problematic. Why aren't there more Eater X's? Whenever I watch you don't know, you've never seen the Nathan's hot dog eating contest?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you know how Joey Chestnut always wins?
Yeah.
Eater X always gets great placement on there because he actually has a gimmick. He paints his face and he goes by Eater X.
Oh.
So you need more gimmicks in competitive food eating so people can actually get behind these things. I like it in Forged in Fire, but have you seen like the latest scandal in the world of competitive eating?
What?
You know, Kobayashi has been banned. He totally blackballed.
What?
He one time tried to sneak into the event and security stopped him. It's this whole big beef that I don't have really all the background on.
I think he didn't want to sign an exclusivity deal with them, so they banned him.
Right.
So he could go out and do other things.
I think is what it was. Yeah, what's the name of the league? There's like a competitive eating league here in the States and abroad, and Kobayashi thought he was bigger than the league.
He was pretty big.
I mean, he was. You could make the argument that Tiger was bigger than the PGA. An easy argument. Tiger could have started his own tour, and more people would have watched that. And Kobayashi sort of thought the same way. However, Kobayashi doesn't have the means or the infrastructure to be putting on events quite the caliber of Major League Eating. Mm-hmm. So I think all of this is building for. Kobayashi's been gone for 10 years. Does he still have it in him to take down Joey Chestnut? And Joey Chestnut is talking like, anytime, anywhere, you say it, but Major League Eating doesn't want to have it. I'm sure this is setting up for some sort of WrestleMania type showdown.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, because it's building up to a point. Chestnut has become the guy while Kobayashi's been gone. But Kobayashi's like, you're only on top of that mountain because I let you.
Right. It's like Ali. They stripped him of his belt, and, you got a lot of other guys that got to be heavyweight champion of the world, but you're not the real heavyweight champion. The real heavyweight champion is Muhammad Ali, and here the real eating champion is Kobayashi.
Joey Chestnut and Eater X were on Amazing Race last year.
Really?
Yeah, Eater X wasn't wearing his
Well, then
face
he's not
paint.
Eater X.
Well, he's actually pretty smart, and he was doing all these things. I felt like Joey was kind of holding him back, to be honest with you. Seems like Joey's really good at eating things, and that might be it.
And that might be it.
Joey seems to be for sale because he was at FanFest Marlins at All-Star when the All-Star game was down here. He was at FanFest.
You interviewed him?
I did. My first interview ever.
We've had him on the show, and there's not much there. Not much there.
The big climax of our interview is a hot dog a sandwich, and he said no.
Yeah. A lot goes in. Not a lot goes out.
By the way, speaking of hot dog as a sandwich, my buddy Zach Harper came up with an even hotter take, which is pizza open face sandwich.
I buy it.
He's not wrong.
You guys are buying this?
Prove it to him. Prove me he's wrong. Prove to me he's wrong.
What's the pizza that's closed?
That's a calzone.
Is that a sandwich?
Calzone is absolutely a sandwich.
No, I don't. First of all, a sandwich can't. It can't be closed on all ends. It can't be stuffed. Right?
Wait, isn't it a pizza pie?
They do have some. Okay.
That's what I thought, but according to Zach, no, it's just an open face sandwich.
So your rules for a sandwich is it can't be closed. There has to be an
opening somewhere. Yeah, it can't be because then at that point it's just baked in. And, and then
otherwise a Twinkie would be a sandwich.
Exactly,
and that's just madness.
Right.
So is a bagel an open face sandwich?
A bagel is just a sandwich. Sandwich.
Bagel's a sandwich.
Bagel's
a
bagel.
Bagel's not a
bagel's
sandwich.
bread.
No, bagel's a sandwich.
Okay, but what if I put cold cuts? What if I put cold cuts on it?
Sandwich out of a bagel, but a bagel's not a sandwich by itself.
It's bread. Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, we're assuming bread is not a sandwich.
We're assuming that you put cream cheese or something on whatever you put on the bagel. At that moment, it becomes a sandwich.
Wait, no. For it to become a sandwich, you have to eat it with both slices
together.
No,
it's an open face sandwich then.
That's how my wife eats her bagels as a sandwich, to both sides at the same time, and I always judge her. You gotta go half, half at a time.
What are you talking about? You do some scrambled eggs, you put it on there, maybe a little turkey bacon.
Oh, no, that's a sandwich. I'm talking about with cream cheese.
cheese.
With cream cheese, though, she closes it, makes it a sandwich with cream cheese in the middle.
Intense.
I'm not buying into open-faced sandwiches.
Really? You think that's cheating?
That's not a thing, an open-faced sandwich.
Open-faced sandwiches, absolutely. Sometimes things are too sloppy or too massive that you can't actually hold it together as a sandwich. You need to put it down, take a fork and knife to it sometimes.
No, if you eat it with a fork and a knife, you're not eating a sandwich.
It ceases to be a sandwich then.
Really?
Yeah. Fork and knife, then it's not
Guys, there are some monster sandwiches out there.
Well, then you better buckle up, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't hold one of these massive sandwiches.
Two hands and stick it in your mouth, man.
Delis in New York.
You gotta squeeze it.
Two hands.
Unhinge your
bite
jaw.
into it. Stick it into your mouth.
You mentioned bagels. What do you use as your beverage to wash down a bagel? Because I know somebody that uses orange juice, and it totally grosses me out. How do you go orange juice to chase a bagel? My wife does this. It grosses me out.
I know somebody.
I'm going to just go ahead and say it. It's my wife, and it's grounds for divorce.
Wow.
I go a glass of milk.
Milk. Absolutely milk.
I'm water. I'm team water.
Water's acceptable. Just not orange juice. I had when I was growing up in my preschool, there was this lady that ate her cereal with orange juice instead of milk.
That's gross.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible.
That's traumatizing.
It's the only instance of someone that I've ever seen someone actually do that. David Sampson's next.
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like a whole new person.
Disclaimer, you will not become a whole new person. This is impossible. You might be able to join a gym or diet program, buy a new wardrobe, get hair implants, but your DNA and physical form will remain the same. Geico waives any and all liability if you attempt to become a new person, except a cyborg. If you choose to become a half-human, half-cybernetic organism with lasers for eyes, the Geico legal team would be cool with that, because, quote, laser eyes are pretty sweet. Pew, 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 end quote.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Don Le Batard.
Would you mind if the new owners of the Marlins knocked down that statue in center field?
It's obviously an eyesore, but it's gotten to the point that it's, our eyesore.
Really? You guys have gotten there.
It's something that we all laugh at together. It's so bad that it's become good.
You wouldn't go to New York and take away the apple, Dan. Come on.
Stugotz.
Would you guys look at a lot of other things and describe it that way? It's something that I mock, but it's something that is in the middle of my city. So therefore, I'm proud of it and don't want it removed.
Pitbull.
Okay, you win.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Former Marlins team president David Sampson is going to join us, talk some movies, maybe some baseball. He'll join us right now in the Orion Fuel and Downstairs Convenience Store guest line. They are truly steps beyond convenient.
A texter writes in, Amin's takes are lame, his knowledge is limited, and he's a mushmouth. When he talks, he sounds like a high teenager in the middle of eating a sandwich.
Yep.
David Sampson with us now. David Sampson, the Marlins team president. We want to talk about our campaign. Guillermo, tell them what we've got going on. Guillermo is at the forefront of a Marlins All-Star campaign. Explain it to the former team president of the Marlins and ask him to get behind our cause.
Hey, David, so we'd love to have you aboard our campaign to get Lewis Brinson into the All-Star game. Bryn Diesel. Are you Brinson or are you Brince out?
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. We're encouraging everyone to go to MLB.com and vote for Lewis Brinson 5 times a day per email, up to 35 times before the All-Star game, which is about a month away. Polls close. And I think so far we're doing pretty well. And we want to do this to kind of extend an olive branch because our show, David, as you know, has had a long history with the Marlins. It hasn't been exactly great. So we're trying to repair that relationship by getting Lewis Brinson voted into the All-Star game.
As a representative, as the best representative of Miami baseball that needs to be shown to the nation because by rule the All-Star game has to have a Marlin.
I feel as though that is the most disingenuous project
What are you
I've
talking
ever
about?
How so?
What? How dare you call anyone
Brint's out.
insincere?
Yeah.
You're Brint's out? You're not Brinfinity and beyond?
I actually chose him to be Rookie of the Year preseason, and I'm not going to be right. He's not going to get voted in, but what's going to happen is that you're going to realize that your reach is really not as large as your roar.
That's
going to be very upsetting.
We'll see.
You know what, Guillermo? That is what we're going to come to realize. Our reach is not that. He is so right about that. We are such roarers. We're not really reachers.
We'll all find out together. Yeah. I mean, look, he's having a little bit of he's ebbing right now, David. We can all agree that he's ebbing right now. But this might just be the thing that could turn around his season for him.
Give him a little confidence.
Yeah, look, the whole nation's behind him. They voted me into the All-Star game. I'm a starter. He could be All-Star game MVP.
I'll take the under on that. Wait a minute. Hold on. I've got someone calling in. It's the governor of Delaware and he wants to bet you that he will not be the MVP of the All-Star game. Will you take that bet?
Molly's Game is what we're reviewing now. Molly's Game is the movie that he's bringing. He reviews movies here every week with us, the former Marlins team president. We're going to get this campaign off the ground. Hear us roar but not reach. Molly's Game is about what, like an Olympic skier, right?
Molly's Game is a true story about a woman who was a real Olympic skier. She got hurt qualifying for the Olympics, and then somehow she got involved in those crazy poker games that you read about with Ben Affleck and Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio. She ran those games. So Molly's Game is about poker. This is a very attractive, smart woman who put off law school to enter into these $1 million poker games, and she was doing everything right until she started taking a rake. Taking a rake is when you skim the pot and sort of get paid a percentage of the pot, and that is totally illegal. The worst part about the movie was Tobey Maguire having to be played by Michael Cera, and he must have been totally despondent about that. The best part of the movie is Jessica Chastain.
They didn't reveal that. Wait a minute. You know they didn't reveal that. Nobody's revealed that. You're revealing that.
It's pretty obvious.
They called him Player X in the movie, but there's no doubt that Tobey Maguire's that guy. He's a really good poker player. He's actually not a great guy.
I'm just saying, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Like, that's a big deal in that movie, that there's a celebrity in the middle of it, and a lot of people don't know, David.
Okay, spoiler alert, Tobey Maguire played in these poker games. He was the best player. He won a lot of money, and he actually kicked Molly out of her own game. And there is a voicemail that is actually in the movie that is what Tobey Maguire actually did to Molly. Just not a good guy, not good at Spider-Man, pretty good in Cider House Rules, but other than that, not great. So this movie shows that a woman or anybody can enter into a world of celebrity, because here's the rule. If you've got money, you want to rub elbows with celebrities, you're willing to lose millions of dollars. Molly saw a guy lose $100 million in one night of playing poker. It's a great movie directed by Aaron Sorkin, who we all know is a great screenwriter, and this was his directorial debut. Well worth seeing. Jessica Chastain got nominated. True story. They stuck to the story, didn't embellish it. Definitely worth your time.
$100 million in one night and they didn't embellish it? Come on, man.
No, that is true. Molly Blank is her name. She described it. Now, she could be lying, but the movie took it from Molly, and Molly was on Ellen saying that. So if she told Ellen DeGeneres that it was $100 million, then you've got to believe her.
Well, then it's true.
No, you don't have to believe her. Guillermo, put it on the poll. Do you have to believe Molly at Le Batard Show? What did you make of what happened? For the audience that does not know, Giancarlo Stanton in 2014 got hit in the face by a baseball thrown by Mike Fiers. It made his face explode. He missed a lot of games. He got back and he was having trouble. He says himself that sometimes the pitch he'd hear it before he saw it. He'd hear it in the catcher's mitt before he saw the pitch. That's what he was actually saying. You cannot believe him too if you want, David. But that's what he said. So when you see Fiers hit him the other day again and then get upset that Stanton was upset, what did you make of all that?
I think that Fiers has to understand that Stanton isn't over this. Many players can get over a hit by pitch, but we gave him that $325 million before he had an at bat after he was hit by pitch in Milwaukee that day in 2014. And 2 nights ago, when he got hit again, it wasn't close to his head, but it was close enough. And Fiers just has to realize that going up and in on Stanton, just don't do it. Even though he wasn't trying to hit him, just don't do it. What happened next was very strange for me, having known Stanton forever. He hit a home run, and he actually showed up the pitcher and showed emotion. And Stanton doesn't do that. And here's more interesting. There would have been a brawl, and the next Yankee hit in the ass. But the Tigers realized the history with Stanton and Fiers, so they let Stanton show that emotion, and they did not retaliate or have a brawl. And that shows you how serious that hit by pitch was.
All right, David, put us there. Your reaction the first time Stanton was hit by Mike Fiers, the first time.
Oh, my God.
I thought he was going to die, and then I thought when I knew that he wasn't dead, I was worried that he'd be blind. And I didn't realize how messed up his mouth was until I went to the dentist with him. And it was unbelievable. And the fact that he came back from it, he looks great. His new teeth are the best teeth that a new contract can buy, and they look amazing. His face was fixed by a great plastic surgeon. both in Milwaukee and again in Florida and California. It took so much work to get him looking the way he did and the way he does. It was horrible. He had a hole in his mouth, guys. He had a tooth basically that was left his mouth and was stuck in his cheek. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. And now you see every player wearing these face masks. We never saw this 4 years ago. Now every player wears this extension on the helmet in order to protect himself because it just was awful. It was scary, Stu. We really were worried he could have been dead.
How unusual is it for a team president to go to the dentist with somebody? And I'm not asking that question mockingly. I'm wondering that's all of that sounds unusual.
Well, this whole thing was unusual. When you're talking about your superstar and you're talking about someone who gets hit like that, but we've had a bunch of hit by pitches. We had Kevin Olson back in 2003 get hit in the head on a comebacker as a pitcher, and I think Jeffrey went to see him in the hospital. It's scary when stuff like that happens. It's not like, a torn-up knee. I don't think I've ever gone and watched a Tommy John surgery or visited a Tommy John patient in the hospital, but this is just a different thing when a player gets hit in the face like that. It's just scary. It was horrible.
George Clooney says that his Batman and Robin was a career wake-up call, according to the Hollywood Reporter. How do you feel about the Batmans, David? Like, how do you feel about who's the best Batman?
He's saying career wake-up call because he took it for the money and he doesn't want to do that anymore because he doesn't need to because he's got alcohol now, or a career wake-up because the movie was so bad. What does he mean by that?
Probably the latter, David.
Yeah. So he knows that going in, but that's my point. Robert De Niro doesn't exactly think that Meet the Fockers is going to be a career-making movie, right? He's doing it for the money. Nicolas Cage, your favorite guy, doesn't make Next thinking that this is going to win him an Oscar. It's called a paycheck. My favorite Batman will always be Michael Keaton, but
what?
I'm okay. I'm absolutely okay with actors doing things for the money. It's their job. There's some guys on radio who do segments and shows just for the money, right?
Yeah.
So what's the problem? Why are you criticizing Clooney?
Christian Bale doesn't make your best Batman?
I like Christian Bale, but I'm an original guy. Michael Keaton.
Have you gone back and watched the original Batman again? It's so campy. It's so ridiculous. It makes, Adam West look kind of almost tame.
Yes.
If I had said Adam West, would you have made more fun of me?
Probably.
Adam West
is a friend of this show. Mike, do you have that sound?
Was a friend of this show.
Oh, thank you. We killed him. Yeah, we killed him.
I never know when someone's dead or not.
Had they been on this show, that's the best litmus test.
That's only their career that's dead at that point.
Exactly.
Be safe, David.
You get to live in ignominy because you were on the show.
Mike is getting this sound of Jeff Garlin and Adam West because you like Jeff Garlin, right? Do you like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Never seen it.
He hasn't watched TV much, he says.
I don't watch any TV. I've never seen it.
You would like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
But while
people have told me I'm like Larry David, but I don't want to see it because I look at myself every day, so I don't need to see what a nervous, Jewish, anxiety-riddled guy looks like.
All right, well, here's Jeff Garlin. For some reason, at some point in time, we became friends with both Adam West and Jeff Garlin. And Jeff Garlin used to do an Adam West impersonation. So we had Jeff Garlin do his terrible Adam West for Adam West. Here's Jeff Garlin doing the only impersonation he has, which is an Adam West.
It appears to me that I'm on your show, Dan. So help me, if you interview the Riddler or the Penguin, I will get Chief O'Hara.
That may be the worst impression.
That is so abysmally, negatively terrible. All right. We almost got the rhythm of the Batman speaking.
Yeah. You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
All right. That's tremendous, Samson.
I'd rather talk about open-faced sandwiches on bagels than listen to that again.
What? What are you talking about? All right, get him out of here. No more Samson for the. You don't hit him with it. You don't get the show in $2, 2 minutes in the penalty box, and $2 for Samson. Get him out of here.
You don't get the show.
No more Samson. Not to mention, he was like you yesterday during the Stephen A. Smith birthday. He wanted to talk during the punchline.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Have you guys had him review Lady Bird?
Yeah, he liked it.
He liked it. That movie was terrible. Terrible. I went in, I was on a flight. I said, oh, Lady Bird. Haven't seen it.
99 Rotten Tomatoes rating. Well, the highest ever.
Welcome to the 1%. Because it was just about a whiny teenage kid.
Yeah. You went into it with lofty expectations, though, right?
Because
I enjoyed it, but I went into it with no expectations.
No.
Zero. I had zero expectations, and it exceeded them because my wife wanted to see it, and I enjoyed it.
I saw, so 3 Billboards was one of those ones where people talked about a lot, and I watched it, and I was like, this is a really good movie. I'm glad I watched it. So I went into Lady Bird with the same kind of expectations. It was an independent movie, but, it's going to be really good. And I'm watching it, okay, does it ever get past her whining and being really entitled and obnoxious? No. Ooh, I've never seen this movie before. Come on, guys.
Who's it for, right?
Who's it for real?
That happens all the time. In entertainment, that one happens all the time. Who are these people who like it? Who's it for? It's for them. I think we've got a new slogan, though, for Amin Elhassan in every walk of life. Welcome to the 1%. If that's not who he is, and welcome to the 1%. What? Lady Bird got a 99%? Well, welcome to the 1%.
Let me tell you something. Honest to God. That has been a slogan me and my cousins have been running with for over a decade.
That's you, man.
Yeah. We'll call ourselves the 1%ers.
Mike, tell the people what we're doing. If you don't like Amin, good God, are you going to get a lot of him today? We're doing 8 hours of radio today with Amin. 8 hours.
Oh, man.
So Amin's going to be helping us. The original plan was for him to stop by, but I think we all just know that Amin's just going to be here the entire night. So Amin's going to be a part of our NBA Finals watch party.
We got to keep Amin away from the drink between shows.
Which he's not the only one. Which you can watch on Watch ESPN.
You either get me on time or you get me sober. You don't get to choose both those things. Choose one now.
Watch ESPN or watchespn.com. It's on the app or on a web handle. It'll go live at around 9 o'clock. We'll tweet out the link, so keep your eye on @Batard Show for updates on it. It should be fun. However, I am a little worried that we're going up against an NBA ref watch party.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, they're going to be live tweeting the game.
All right, you can't see them. They're only tweeting.
Apparently, it's just live tweeting somewhere.
Let's do the next 3 hours as a pregame to the later